Good morning and welcome to Nigeria Now, the program which brings you the top stories across headlines on Nigeria's national dailies. My name is Sagir Ibrahim, and with me here in the studio is Mr. Adebayo Fajimi, as always, and he is the sub-editor here at TOS Television, as well as a public affairs analyst. Good morning, Mr. Adebayo.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, you're welcome. So let's just dive straight into it. Okay, I have the Daily Trust newspaper here with me, and from the front page there, we see on the banner headline, Lockdown, heavy clampdown on bandits in Zamfara. Operation successful, bandits instigating locals to protest. They're on the run releasing captives that, according to the governor, Matawali, will endure pain of security measures, and that's residents. Over 40 rustlers killed, logistics hideouts bombed in Kaduna. Okay, so first of all, Mr. Adebayo, I mean, we saw the letter over the weekend that the governor of Zamfara State had sent earlier to the Minister of Communication and Digital Economy. Yes, that Ali Pantami, about disconnecting network connectivity in the state, and we saw how he responded by sending a letter to NCC, who as well sent letters to the various network service providers across the country currently operating in the state to do so, to ensure that a security sweep is done in the state. And we see that this was the outcome of that move. So far, will you say you're satisfied with what is going on? Because it seems like really good news to me.
Yeah, well, of course, it's a good news. The only thing is just that we don't know how it is. We are doing this for the first time, so
yes.
Let's just put it to test and see the outcome, the results we're going to get out of the entire process. So
yes.
If the result is very, if it is reasonable and it's if we are satisfied with it, of course, this is what we have been talking about, that we should deploy technology to
yes.
contain this matter. So let's put it to test and see the outcome. So, but for now, we cannot really say that, we are Nigerians, and we know the system better. So let's just wait and see the outcome of the entire process.
All right. So let me ask another one. So we saw the absolute show of force, because from Sunday through to yesterday, I saw clips of the Nigerian Armed Forces working in collaboration with local vigilante groups, to ensure that they take the fight to the bandits. Now, from the videos and the clips I saw an absolute show of force and lack of mercy on the side of the Nigerian Armed Forces towards these bandits. Should we say, or should we expect the same, actions that were taken in Zamfara to be replicated in places like Kaduna, where we have, an explosion of this sort of events, or in other states like Borno State or even Yobe State, for example?
Yes, we should. In fact, not even we ought to have seen this before now, because like Plato said, a good man is meant to be a good citizen, but
yes.
For a good man to be a good man, he must live in a good state. So and if our governments really want us to have, they want us to be good citizens, they must create a very good environment, for a very good atmosphere. So for the leadership of that state to say, okay, we want to take this initiative, it is a very good initiative for me, and the same should be replicated. In fact, if there should be more than this, of course they should, so that everybody can live at peace.
All right, so let's move to the Business Day newspaper real quick. We see more states to join push for VAT collection. Now, first of all, it started with, I think, was it Rivers State?
Yes.
Saying, look, you've been collecting VAT for so long. We have been the ones generating this VAT. We need this money to develop our state. We cannot be always developing generating this VAT, and it's going back to the federal, collated and then allocated individually to the state. If we generate our VAT, give our VAT to us to develop our state by ourselves. It's a very simple and uncomplex, demand. However, we are seeing more states are joining to push, and the federal government on the other hand. So the FIRS had gone to court, and unfortunately for them, the case was quashed. I think it was replicated. Yes, in the Leadership newspaper, it said states begin consultation as court quashes FIRS application. We also saw it on the Guardian newspaper as well. VAT open grazing bills, scale first, second reading at Lagos Assembly. So there's been this demand now by states to say, look, we want this money coming directly from us. If we if we generate it, give it to us. Do you think the state has a legitimacy, a legitimate standing to make these demands, especially as since time immemorial, it had always been going to the federal government?
Yes, but like we say that change is the most constant things in life. So now it has been in existence from time immemorial, but now we are seeing the change, and this is coming up as a result of poor leadership and the kind of system we run at the government level. We have a centralized government in Nigeria that everything comes to center, and it is from the center that we share everything. And because of that, you see, states have been saying, see, we are no more satisfied, especially if you see the way Governor Nyesom Wike, he responded to this. And the man is a fighter, and he meant every bit of what he said. So, court as it is not for me to say whether state has the legitimate standing to say, okay, this belongs to us. Court has made that position, and then you see FRS, going to court to appeal and all of that. So it is court that would decide that, okay, and we have been, we have seen in Rivers State and also in Lagos now, and don't be surprised if we see more states, joining. And
yes,
what I see, the good side of this is that because when this thing no longer comes to the center, it's going to put whoever is going to be a leader, because when what is coming from Lagos is no more coming to the center, what is coming from River is no more coming. You can imagine the kind of revenue that will be coming, to the federal government account. It's going to put leadership to test, and that is the positive side I'm seeing on this. So it's a very good development for me. So, and if we see other states joining, so be it. Okay,
so I have a follow-up. Now, I want to ask, in a situation where we found that not up to 20%, or I dare say 10% of states here in Nigeria generates revenue that is up to 10% or even 20% of their yearly appropriation in terms of budget. Would you say the VAT being added, number one, will add or help that appropriation, especially when we have seen time and time again reckless mismanagement and undermanagement of state fund and resources, especially when it comes to allocation of projects and the likes of that? Don't you think this money is just going to give governors more powers to do as they wish, as they see, and at the end of the day, it will return to the normal as we know it, reckless looting here and there and the likes?
Well, I don't see it that way. But if governor of each state has that power, to generate their to generate revenue and to spend it, I think that's why we have our tiers of government, arms of government, and it is the responsibility of the lawmakers and those who are saddled with the responsibility of that state to hold whoever is in the affair of that state accountable. So we saying maybe governors will mismanage this fund or so, where I don't really see it that way. So as long as, number one, those who are in the affairs of of governance, and also the citizens. So if they are very vibrant and they are ready to hold the governor or the leadership accountable, I don't see that happen.
All right, so let's go to the Blueprint newspaper now, talking about the judiciary. On the banner headline there, we see conflicting court orders making INEC work difficult, and that's by the INEC chairman, Mahmood Yakubu. Pledges to work with bar bench to defend the electoral process. There must be an end to this nonsense, CJN warns judges. Discard use of professors in conduct of elections, IPAC tells INEC. Now, Mr. Adebayo, last week we saw a situation where the Chief Justice of Nigeria had invited about 6 judges from Rivers State to, inquire as to why conflicting judgments came from each of them's individual courts pertaining one issue. So this has become rife over the years, and now the INEC chairman is coming out to say these judgments that has been conflicting in the past, couple of months or even years has been hampering us carrying out our duties. So first of all, why do we even see cases of conflicting judgments?
Well, you know, when you look at every structure in Nigeria, the judiciary, every aspect, you know,
Yes.
we do not have a very stabilized, or it's a very well, you know, stabilized structure. So I think that is the reason. We talk about legislature, you talk about, there is no institution that is well stabilized as a nation. So I mean, yes. So and I think that is the reason why if you see what we used to experience during election or after election,
Yes.
you know, it's a great sign that of what is going on in the judiciary. So I think the reason why we are experiencing this is that we do not have a very strong institution. So and that's why you see different judges making, you know, just giving order just the way they like. So and I think let me just reserve my comments on that.
All right. Okay. So we see on the leadership newspaper, we spoke about it. VAT verdict. States begin consultation as court quashes FIRS application. Agency was collecting VAT in error ab initio court rules. A judgment recipe for economic chaos, says Masari. That's governor of Katsina State. Wike alleges conspiracy demands full implementation of Rivers Tax Law 2021. Conflicting orders, 3 judges to face disciplinary action, and I think that's by the NJC. So on the Daily Times newspaper, from the very top, we see Wike directs Rivers Revenue Agency to fully enforce VAT collection. I mean, we just had the conversation around that. Now, for the banner headline on the Daily Times newspaper, Miyetti Allah to Buhari NAS, stop governors from implementing anti-open grazing laws. Now, Mr. Adebayo, I have come to understand that the anti-grazing law is supposed to be a regional law because it cuts across just the 19th states, northern states of the federation. So that means that states in the southwest as well as the southeast are not included. Now, in the past 1 week, or last week to be precise, I saw a headline which read that the president had reviewed about 368 grazing routes or thereabouts in about 25 states, and it got me wondering. I mean, this law is a regional one, for example. It never cuts across any state in the southwest or the southeast. And here we are seeing Miyetti Allah saying the president and the National Assembly should stop governors from implementing anti-open grazing laws. So far, it's, I think, Rotimi Akeredolu of Ondo State, the governor of Benue State, Samuel Otom, as well as Darius Ishaku of Taraba State, are the ones who have been stamping their feet down to say, look, we don't want this, as well as governors in the southwest. So do you think Miyetti Allah has the legitimacy to come out saying, look, Mr. President, stop it. We must take our cattle and graze in this state, especially when the grazing law did not cover the states in the southeast or southwest?
Well, I think what Miyetti Allah is doing is they are just trying to express, they exercise their freedom of speech. As far as I'm concerned, and what we know, everybody has his own right under the Constitution. But as stipulated by law, I don't think the president has a right to stop the governor or governors of every state to not to implement this anti-open grazing law. Femi Falana, the renowned the renowned lawyer, also spoke over the weekend. I said the presidency should stop creating problem for state governors. The president does not have the power, to say you want to create, you want to review this. You don't even have one.
Okay, I think the Constitution has actually expressly said the federal government has no land.
Yes.
Okay.
So the sole responsibility lies on the governor of the state to manage the land of, within this jurisdiction. Yes. So Miyetti Allah, is just trying to express, its freedom of expression. So as far as I'm concerned, so they're telling president to stop the governor not to sign this or not to implement this is just it's going to be a fruitless effort as far as I'm concerned.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Adebayo. Unfortunately, we are out of time and we have come to the end of the program, Nigeria Now Today. You stay tuned for more updates here on TOS Television, and remember you can be a part of Nigeria Now by connecting with us on our various social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at TOS TV Network. You could also watch Nigeria Now via our website at www.tos.tv. tostvnetwork.com, as well as watch a recap of the program via our YouTube page at TOSTV Network. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Nigeria Now will be here same time and same place tomorrow. My name is Sagir Ibrahim. Thank you so much for watching.